Very often, as an attorney, I hear people who say, oh, well, I have a friend, or I have a brother, or I have a cousin, or my uncle's brother's best friend's neighbor who's an attorney, and I'll just have them help me with my car accident case or my personal injury case. Just like doctors, there are all kinds of different attorneys who do different things. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about the different kinds of attorneys that are out there to help people with different problems. For those of you who love a good crime drama that includes attorneys, you're very familiar with the criminal lawyer world. It's always funny to me when I watch these shows, because you'll have a crime happen and within 1 hour, you'll solve the crime, you'll have the case heard by a judge, you'll have a ruling, and that never happens in reality. But the people who help criminals, whether they defend them or whether they prosecute them, are involved in criminal law. And so criminal law is just something where somebody breaks a law and they're prosecuted and defended by attorneys as part of that process. Another very common type of law that people are familiar with is divorce law or family law. So whatever state you're in, when marriages don't work out, people oftentimes will hire an attorney to represent them. Family law attorneys or divorce attorneys help people to split the two people that have been married, so they divide assets. They can figure out visitation for children, what the amount of child support or alimony should be, and that's really what a divorce attorney or a family law attorney does. Another kind of attorney is a business or corporate attorney, and if you've been involved in any kind of business transaction, you've probably met an attorney who practices corporate law. So an attorney who focuses on some kind of business or corporate law, they will help draft contracts between individuals or businesses. Sometimes they'll sue somebody else for breach or breaking a contract. They'll help in what I call a business divorce. So if you have business partners and they want to separate and go their separate ways, you can hire a business attorney or attorneys to help you work that out. Or sometimes it ends up in court and each party will have an attorney to figure out how they're going to split up the business. Another type of attorney is an estate or a probate attorney. So estate attorneys will typically help with preparing wills or trusts. A will or a trust is just a document that tells the world what you want done with your stuff when you die, who you would prefer to have look after your children or to manage your affairs after you pass away. As part of an estate attorney, there's somebody called a probate attorney. So if somebody dies without a will or a trust, how somebody helps to sell a house or a car or distribute a bank account is through what is called the probate process. And that is a function of just state law, the law of the state in which you live in. Will say, okay, if somebody dies and they don't have a will or a trust, this is what happens to their property. So it goes to, your surviving spouse or to your children or to siblings or parents or, however the law in the state that you live in actually works. But that process of figuring out who gets what when you don't leave a will or a trust is called the probate process. And so in order to help people with that, you hire a probate attorney. Near and dear to my heart is a personal injury attorney. So we help people with anything from a fender bender car accident, a trucking accident. So we have some multiple clients who were injured when a semi truck hit them. We can also help with cases where people have been bitten by a dog, or we had a client who was delivering some Christmas cookies, and the railing of the house that they were walking up to, that railing was super loose and it broke and they fell and they broke their arm. We help people when in a wrongful death setting, so that's like a car accident where somebody dies, and we can help people recover for the premature death of that individual. So personal injury attorneys can help people where some form of insurance is involved and there's a policy that will help compensate our client for the damage that they suffered. There are all kinds of different attorneys. You'll see some attorneys who will practice a few different practice areas, and you'll see some attorneys who really focus in on one specific practice area. Here at Lebaron&Jensen, we have made a conscious decision really just to focus in on one practice area, which is helping people who have been involved in accidents, slips and falls, dog bites, semi-truck accidents, or wrongful deaths. So if you have been involved in an accident and it's not your fault, we would love to help you.